Hey crew, it's Pitt, and I'm back, and I'm getting out of my box. I don't normally talk about specific people. I've done reactions to specific people, and we've talked about the things that they talked about. I've done reactions to different topics, I've done reactions to different things, but I don't normally address people who, as a person, we'll put it that way. But I have to on this one. I cannot any longer just let this shit slide by. If you do not know Andrew, I think his last name is Tate, and I say that so that I can break it up for the algorithm a little bit. And from here on out, I'm not going to say his name. I'll just refer to him as he or him. But that's who I'm talking about. Is spreading some of the most toxic, vile crap that I have ever heard in my life. This guy, when I first became aware of him, I thought, okay, he's just a guy trying to help people get their lives in order, to take charge of their lives. And hey, that's what I'm doing. I can't be mad at that, right? But then I came across a video where he's talking specifically about marriage and telling people that marriage is a bad idea and that commitment is a bad idea. And that's just because he's an insecure little weak man. And yes, I said that, and yes, he is free to pop up here, Rose Drive and Walker, and we can talk about it face to face. But there is no greater calling for a man than to have a wife and children and to raise his family in the correct way to go. Life is not about seeing how many marks you can put on the bedpost. Now, if you're familiar with my story at all, I come from a history of sexual addiction. I had a very bad problem when I was younger with wanting to put my penis in anything that walked, right? And it is in part because of the type of thing that this dumbass is telling people. Your partner should be your support. They should be the foundation of your life. Finding the right partner and being faithful to them is a commitment and a level of manhood that Andrew will never be able to achieve because he is a boy. He is a boy who has not matured past the point of adolescence. I can almost guarantee that his issue is the same that you see a lot of times, and it is, I got rejected by this girl I was simping over, so I decided to no longer simp, and I'm going to become alpha super male, and I'm going to do all the things and talk all the smack. But it is emotional insecurity. That is because you were overextending and doing and chasing the wrong person. That person was not meant to be in your life. You are not meant to be a simp. You're not meant to chase behind a woman and just give her everything, but you are meant to give her everything, right? You are meant to find the one that is meant for you and to commit to that woman and to bringing forth children. That is the goal of life. It is not to rut with whoever you can. That is a childish attitude, and the whole commitment is dumb. That's he's like, well, if I want to be with a woman, I can be with her for 20 years and we don't need to get the government involved. That's some childish shit. That is not respecting the person that you are with enough to commit to them for your life. You are scared that they won't commit to you, so you run from that and you chase the new experience, right? We're not going to get into typing him because I'm not going to try to do that right now, but I got a feeling he's an EST, at the very least, probably an ESTP. Just off the brief things I know about him, this is not an in-depth type analysis, but he is constantly chasing the wrong thing, and he is using his logic for it, but he is using the wrong logic. There is absolutely no greater joy in life than building up the right woman. Now, sexual congress is sharing your soul. No matter which side of that you're on, whether you're on the giving or the receiving end of that, right? You are giving and receiving a piece of your soul and their soul. Y'all are interchanging your energies. You will forever walk around with a piece of that person. Forever. It will never go away. It will always be a part of you. And the more that you share your soul, the worse your soul becomes. The more fractured it becomes. And if you want to think about Voldemort in Harry Potter, that is the exact same thing. Making the Horcruxes is the exact same thing as being promiscuous in life. You are shattering your soul into places that it does not need to be invested in. Sexual morality is about growth. It is not about finding all these new experiences and doing them. That's dumb. That is no growth. That is a child mindset. And I'm really sick of seeing people take this guy as an authority on anything. I don't care that he dresses nice. I don't care that he works out. I don't care that he gives this persona. But that persona to me reeks of snake. I see this man and I see Satan personified. What he is doing is literally taking an entire generation of young men who are wandering aimless because these apps, these dating apps that you can just scroll and find somebody to go have sex with, is destroying us. It is killing the nuclear family. It is killing morality in general. And he is propagating this shit. He is telling people that not only is it a choice, but it is the preferable choice. You shouldn't have to settle for one woman. You shouldn't be giving women things. You shouldn't be... No. You need to grab it, your set, and man up. Commit. Find some emotional vulnerability, because this alpha male shit doesn't work in real life. What really happens in real life is you get this shit and you walk around, I'm big and bad, I'm big and bad, I'm big and bad. And then 4 of these betas come and beat the snot out of you. And if you don't believe that, you need to look at the Wild Kingdom. See what happens when one of these gorillas gets a little bit overbearing. See what happens to them. Look it up. It's on the internet. I'm not going to talk about it. It might give me strikes. But that's what's going to happen. You're going to get eaten up by the betas. You're going to, in 10 years, when them looks start to fade, you get a little bit wrinkly like me, and you get some gray popping up, and you get a little bit flabby around the arms and the chest where you used to be a little bit tight. Then these betas destroy you. I don't want nobody to be destroyed. I want every single person that I ever hears my voice to become whole and healed. That is what I want for you. And I can tell you with absolute certainty that making the commitment to one person will do that for you. Now, you have to be emotionally vulnerable with that person. You can't just hold shit in. I see all these videos. Who do you talk to? Who do you talk to? Who do you talk to? And I understand that, because as a man, you don't. You really don't. You don't talk to people. But that one person is yours. And that is the one person that you can open up to, that you can talk about the things that you don't want to, the things that make you uncomfortable, the things that make you cry. Because guess what? It's okay for a man to cry. It's okay for a man to be vulnerable. It's okay for a man to love his wife. It is okay for a man to commit for his entire life to one woman. It is okay. It is not only okay, it is the preferred thing. And running around telling all these young men who are rejected because of these apps, and that's a large part of it. Some of these men are perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with them, but they're not 6'2", 180 pounds with tight fit muscles. So these women just scroll on past. These apps are destroying our culture and our future. Birth rates are down. Commitment is down. Marriages that last are down, and that's bad because we were already at 50%. There is nothing manly about jumping from a woman to a woman to a woman to a woman to a woman. There is nothing in that is manly. Nothing. Yeah, you're getting, but you're running up the tally. Ooh. So what? You think it's hard to get laid, bro? Do you really think it's hard to get laid? I have been offered in the 2 years that I've been walking as a cripple. I walk in the morning before anybody's up, and I've had offers from neighbors just walking down the street. I don't play them games though, so I don't take them up on that. And I'm polite, and I'm like, no, thank you. And like, it's not hard to find somebody to have sex with. People are bored and they want to just fill their day. It is hard. It is a manly thing to do, to be committed to one woman, to resist the temptation of the bullshit, to say, no, I'm not going to stick my thing in you. I'm going to save that for this person who has committed themselves to me, who has devoted themselves to building me up. And then You need to be building up your spouse. You need to be building up your partner. How can you say to your partner, you can't do this? And by this, I mean whatever their dream happens to be, right? There's a lot of y'all out there doing that. There's a lot of y'all out there telling people to stay in their place and to not get out of the kitchen and all of this, but that is not masculine either. A man develops his foundation. He takes that foundation and strengthens it so that he can build his life upon it. That's what your partner is meant to be. It is meant to be your foundation. It is meant to be what brings you up out of the darkness when shit gets tough, and I guarantee you, shit is going to get tough. I can guarantee you that life is going to be hard, and it is a whole lot easier if you have somebody helping you and not somebody over there backbiting you. Now, I'm not talking to my ladies out there, y'all. Y'all aren't a big part of my audience. I'm talking to the men, the young men that watch me, because I am trying to help you figure out how to actually get on with your life and to succeed in your goals and to do what you want to do. That is what this whole channel is devoted to. That's what this whole MBTI system is about, is to help you become emotionally mature enough to be able to take on the responsibility of a wife and children and to raise them correctly and to bolster your wife and not tear her down. Because if you're talking shit to your wife, you are a terrible person. If you're telling your wife that she can't do something or that she's a piece of shit, you're the one. You're the shitty bag. You're the person who needs to be corrected there. There's nothing masculine about tearing down a woman. There's nothing really masculine about tearing down a man. And I generally shy away from these type of videos dealing with this one specific person, right? And this one specific attitude. I prefer to talk about the whole idea of it because that's how my stack's built. But sometimes I have to. And this one guy, is a terrible influence. Now, there are more of them out there. There are plenty of people out there trying to sell you this bullshit and get rich off of your vulnerability because you, as a young man, are vulnerable. You don't know where to look. Where do we have examples of positive masculinity out here? We don't. We have the musics out here telling us, oh, get drunk and drugged and fuck everybody. And you got the movies out here telling you to get drunk and beat up and fuck everybody. And there's nothing masculine about that. There's masculinity in defending things. There's masculinity in developing things and growing things and building things. But there is no masculinity in just senselessly tearing something down. There is no alpha male in not being able to commit. That is actually the opposite, right? Now, if you're a gorilla and you're out in the fucking woods and you're just throwing your penis wherever it happens to fall, then yeah, you're a fucking animal. But we're not animals, right? We are, but I mean, we're not that level of animals. We're on the fourth dimension here. We're trying to get to the fifth dimension, and there is no fifth dimension coming from that. Sexual promiscuity is going to kill you, all right? Now, chances are, if you're young and you're in this life, you will wake up at one point, and I can almost guarantee you will regret it. You will regret all the people that you don't know that you had sex with. You will regret all the times that you were not fully committed to a person and had sex with them. And I'm going to let you know another thing. Sex is better when you're committed. You learn each other. You learn how to do things in the way that they need to be done. You learn how to make the other person stronger, not just sexually, but in all areas. And that is what you need to be doing. Not listening to this guy. This guy with his bald head and his fancy suit is not an alpha. He's not. He's like Sigma level. Y'all need to quit listening to these low signal Sigmas. Especially that one. And that's where I'm going to wrap it up. I hope I brought a little bit of enlightenment and not too much pissed offery to a complicated topic. Y'all, I really am here to help. I really am here to help you understand this. There is nothing to be gained by being sexually promiscuous. Nothing. It is nothing but detrimental. Nothing but detrimental. It saps your soul. When you give a piece of your soul to someone else, you're becoming Voldemort in a very literal way. And you can see it in the toxicity of this one man. You can see the way that he acts, that his soul is not together. He needs help. I would give it to him. Like if he popped up here and he didn't want to fight, he wanted to learn and to do, I could help him with that.
But that attitude is destroying you. He is out here intentionally destroying you for money. He's out here intentionally telling you the wrong shit. And that pisses me off because you are my crew. And fuck him. To the crew. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate every single minute that you are here with me, and I am praying for you every single day. Until next time, I love you, and this has been Pitt. Peace.